Trump campaign senior political advisor and pollster Kellyanne Conway is here. Kellyanne, good to see you. Thanks for being here this morning. All right, so the vice presidential buzz is picking up. Who's it going to be?
Oh, I don't know. That decision belongs to one man, Donald Trump. But obviously the short list has gotten shorter if you look at many of the credible press reports. And different people have gone through the vetting process. And I think, as you've pointed out, Sandra, you have Mr. Trump going and doing these rallies last week with Newt Gingrich in Cincinnati, this week with Mike Pence, with Chris Christie.
You're not helping us narrow the choices here.
Well, here's the thing. I think that the choices come down to what he would like in his vice presidential.
Well, does he know? Because Wilbur Ross, who just held this fundraiser out in the Hamptons, said that he was very impressed by Donald Trump asking everyone attending the fundraiser, who do you want me to pick as a vice president? And he even responded to their suggestions. Rudy Giuliani, he said, was thrown about there. I mean, there still could be some surprises here, right?
Well, I'm in favor of anybody polling the room at any time. But in terms of Mr. Trump also mentioning names, it doesn't mean that people end up being vice president, but they probably will have a role in his administration at the convention, et cetera. The Pence pick really would help in the Rust Belt Midwest area. And I think what Governor Pence could do is obviously increase the excitement of many conservatives, but also if you're going to own a governor's record, Indiana's a good place to do that. I think he can also take a comment like Hillary Clinton's that she made in West Virginia earlier this year. I'm going to put the coal industry out of business. You take that comment that was made in West Virginia, you basically travel westward through Ohio, Pennsylvania,
fair point.
Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin. And also he served 12 years in Congress, sort of was in Washington but never became of Washington, 10 years in the Foreign Affairs Committee. Obviously, Governor Christie and Speaker Gingrich bring a continuum of the Trump candidacy in that they are unapologetically unafraid of taking on Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and the Clinton machine. Normally, you could pick a VP who could be the attack dog on the other side.
Do you think Chris Christie would be good?
But that's something that, but attacking Hillary Clinton is something that Donald Trump seems to relish, and he's really good at it.
Speaking of Hillary Clinton, the Wall Street Journal is reporting today that in June, she ran 20,000 commercials nationwide, and Trump ran 0. So I know that he had a big fundraising haul in June after a disappointing May. Can you kind of give us insight as the senior strategist on what the media buys will look like going forward, and will he catch up to Hillary Clinton?
Sure. Well, he'll never need to catch up to Hillary Clinton because she'll never catch up to him in terms of just the sheer dynamism and magnetism, the historic, really unique, singular type of candidate that he is. And if she has run 20,000 commercials and spent close to $30 million, he spent 0 in June, why is this race, you know, a single digit? Why isn't she at 70% among women? Why isn't she at 60%? So I think paid media is not going to help her because you have 2/3 of Americans saying she's not honest or trustworthy. 58%, according to the Fox poll last week, that she's, quote, corrupt. I don't remember as a pollster of 27 years ever even putting the word corrupt in our polling in presidential politics until the Hillary Clinton was a candidate. And just this morning, ABC News came out with a poll that said a majority of Americans say it was a mistake for her not to be prosecuted over the emails, and 3 in 10 Democrats agree that she should have been charged.
I will just to point out what the polls look like, and it is, given the fact that she has outspent in advertising on TV and radio Donald Trump 15-1. According to some analysis, she's leading him by 4.5 percentage points in the overall national Real Clear Politics average. And she's got a lead in most of in all the swing states, but it is doggone close in most of them.
It's usually within the margin of error.
Right. It's a dead heat in North Carolina where Clinton and Obama were.
And it's a great point, for another reason. Mitt Romney lost Colorado by 6 points. He lost Iowa by 6 points. They lost Paul Ryan's Wisconsin by almost 7 points. And they did spend a lot of money. There's $1 billion spent on each side. So I don't think Donald Trump will never catch up to her, and he doesn't need to. And I think that's a very important point. What she needs to do, I think, is excite her base, which just this weekend really caused a stir with the convention platform. Bernie Sanders got a lot of stuff through. $15 an hour minimum wage, really pushing on TPP to try to say this is a jobs-killing trade bill. And so they got their way. I think she's been pushed so far to the left, it's going to be very difficult for her to run ads that make a lot of Americans feel like she's in the mainstream economically.
Kellyanne, getting back to the Pence possibility as a VP pick, you mentioned normally the VP is an attack dog. Trump likes to do that himself. You mentioned Pence kind of reassures conservatives. He's also, by temperament, he's about the most low-key polite, kind of understated guy. I mean, real contrast to Donald Trump in that way. Is that something that would be reassuring to voters, or does that not matter because Trump is really defining the message and the personality of the campaign?
James, it matters insofar as each of these candidates would be who they are. And that's really very important. I mean, you see Hillary Clinton trying to bob and weave. Today I'm a grandmother, tomorrow I'm a moderate, the next day I'm a free market girl. So I think that Trump and Pence are both very authentic.
So do you know what makes this all really interesting? Fox News reporting that that if it is indeed Pence, he would have to decide by noon on Friday. Yes. The deadline for the first-term governor to appear on the state November ballot as either gubernatorial or vice president.
You have a lot of Republicans in Indiana already jockeying, just trying to be that plan B, just in case. So to your point, though, James, Mike Pence, who I know very well, he had a comment when he was in Congress. He said, sure, I'm a conservative, but I'm not in a bad mood about it. And I think that answers your question as well.
All right, and by the way, Donald Trump just 10 minutes ago tweeting out, join me in Westfield, Indiana tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m.
Big rally.
Trump 2016. All right, Kellyanne, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here this morning.